What is up? Welcome back to Birdman on YouTube, also known as at 2024 War Room on X. That's right, at 2024 War Room on X. Come follow me there. A lot of good stuff going on. Posting every day, just up-to-date stuff on what's going on with the election. Now, there's not a lot of breaking news with the election, obviously, with Trump up by 40, 50 points in most polls. And even in Iowa, even in New Hampshire, he's up by 25 or 30. So there's not a lot of updates with that sense. But I will go over what happened last week at the debate, the second Republican debate, which was actually almost a week ago now. I haven't posted since then. I did kind of a preview, and a lot of what I said was right. Not everything was right, but a lot of what I said was right in the fact that the media would pick Nikki Haley to win, which they pretty much did. And then some people said DeSantis, but I wasn't really surprised by that. But I'll go down and kind of give you who I thought won, who I thought did well. Really, if you look at my top power rankings, which I got a lot of buzz on X, there's a lot of comments, a lot of stuff on there about my power rankings. This will surprise some people, and someone on X actually called me a woman hater. Can you believe that? Me, a woman hater? Why would anybody think that? Of course, it's ridiculous. But that's what happens, right? If you have any critical comments of certain sections of the population, right? I'll just put it that way. Sections of the population, you get caught a lot of names because if you don't agree with them, well, yeah, you must be a racist. You must be a gender hater. All this other stuff. So Nikki Haley, I just thought, I'm not a big Nikki Haley fan, so I guess I am a little biased in this sense because I'm not a real big fan of the Ukraine war. She is pro-war. If you want more war, vote for Nikki Haley. And the fact that she seems to always talk about being a woman. Like, she's always telling me she's a woman. Like, I already know that. I already know that. And then she has this thing that nobody talks about, how she wants you to work till you're like 80. Her retirement age wants to be around 80 years old. That's what she says. So, not a real big fan of Nikki Haley. But in the debate, I thought in this debate, there's a couple things I thought she did okay. But overall, I just thought she came across as snobby, unlikable, condescending. She had this flare back with Vivek Ramaswamy about when he was talking about TikTok, and she says, every time you open your mouth, you just sound, I felt dumber every time you open my mouth or something like that. And it just doesn't hit right. I mean, Vivek's the dumbest guy? Really? So you're saying everything Vivek says is makes you dumber. That's insane. I think a lot of Americans agree with what he says because he says stuff that you can't say in public, right? Or if you say it in public, they're going to look at you differently and stuff like that. There's a lot of things that Vivek says that's spot on. So that it didn't hit me right. I have her number 7. Sorry. That's where I have her. Pence was number 6. Pence was Pence, boring as hell. He didn't really, to me, I didn't think he did good in any debate, but I think I had him last in the first debate. I just don't think he has no energy. He has his biggest selling point for voting for him is because he was vice president. He's older and he has the most experience. That's pretty much what he tells you. Chris Christie, number 5. Chris Christie, I hope he's in every debate. I think he's hilarious. I don't think he did a great job. I thought he was just in the debate. I thought he had some good little torch with Vivek and Tim Scott. But I don't really see Chris Christie. I don't see him making any impact. I mean, he shouldn't even be in the debate either. But I like him in the debate because he's so funny. Tim Scott, this is what surprised me. They asked Fox News, I can't tell you, and mostly it's Trump supporters tell me that Fox News has went from Trump and now they're in the tank for DeSantis, which I don't really believe. I mean, do you have any facts to back that up? Because I'm trying to find facts. I'm not finding them. The only thing I know is on the first question of the debate, they asked Tim Scott the first question in the debate. In fact, I believe they asked the 2 questions to Tim Scott before they asked DeSantis one. Why would they ask Tim Scott, who's ranking 5th, 6th, or 7th in most polls, the first question in the debate? Is strange. Not only that, they asked 2 questions before they even got to Ron DeSantis. It's very bizarre to me. I thought it was very strange. Tim Scott kind of took a different attitude this time. He got back and forth. He was trying to get back and forth with Haley, and then he actually said something to Ron DeSantis, but Fox cut to a news break or a commercial break right when he asked the question, and they never went back to it. And then Tim Scott went after Nikki Haley, which I actually think, even though I have Nikki Haley last, I thought it was kind of weak, the whole thing that Scott was trying to do. And then he started getting some kind of back and forth about the curtains at the governor's mansion. I just thought it was insane. I thought the whole thing was insane. To me, he was reaching a little bit, and I just thought it was really ridiculous. DeSantis, hey, I have DeSantis number 3. Could easily be number 2. I have DeSantis number 3. I know what you're thinking right now, too. Where the hell's Virgin at? Well, he's up there. DeSantis, to me, I thought he was better in this debate in the fact that he wasn't as robotic. The first debate, he looked like he was plugged into the wall, and he had these memorized lines he's been thinking about for weeks, and he just spouted it out. He looked like a robot. Nobody attacked him in the first debate. The second debate, he had Haley go after him, and then I think Mike Pence said something. But the reason I don't have him number 1, and I probably would have had him number 1 in my power rankings if I thought when Nikki Haley said something to him about his how he canceled fracking or something on his second day in office, and they went to him afterwards, he never really had a comeback on that. It's like he started changing the subject, started talking about something else, and I felt like he was guilty as charged, and I felt like he really didn't come back, and I predicted that, so I was wrong my first video before the debate. I thought he does better in back and forth, which I thought I've seen before. But I didn't see that back and forth. I didn't see a good comeback by DeSantis. So I think I would have had him number 1 if he would have came back strong and really been more defensive about that. But I thought that was a little strange. Burgum, I'm just messing around. I had him at number 2. I thought he did good. For being someone that's polling at 0 or 1%, I thought he did okay. I think he would actually have more publicity if he wasn't running North Dakota. I mean, I'm just being honest. I have Vivek number 1. I know I picked him before. I did this for Vivek. He just wins the debate. It's not a big win. It's not a big win because if you follow me on X, the first 2 or 3 commercial breaks, I didn't think there was a winner. I really didn't. I just felt like it was flat. I didn't see people going back and forth. I thought it was boring. I really had Vivek with a slight edge because Vivek, I get it. Vivek had a different strategy this time. If you notice the first debate, Vivek was very he was really going after everybody, right? I'm the only one on the stage that's not a bought and paid for politician. I'm not a super PAC puppet. How the other candidates, basically whatever their super PAC wants them to do. I think he's really calling out DeSantis on that. I mean, he is kind of a super PAC puppet a little bit, DeSantis. But he came out this time, Vivek, and was like, I respect everyone. Everyone's fantastic. And then he went into something, right? He did it like 2 or 3 times. It was pretty obvious he was trying to make up, and people were kind of calling him out on that. But everybody was going after Vivek, man. They love to go after this guy. They just, I can't. The venom they look at this guy is unbelievable. Like Mike Pence and Nikki Haley, I think they literally despise the guy. It's literally that crazy. I mean, it's crazy to me. And not only that, remember Nikki Haley, and I was talking earlier about how she went back and forth with Vivek. I thought that was interesting because she said, every time you open your mouth, I feel a little dumber, which was totally stupid. I mean, it was pretty condescending and rude, first of all. Secondly, it just doesn't hit right because it's like, Vivek's probably the smartest guy on the stage. And he says a lot of stuff people agree with, by the way. So, the funny thing is that Vivek, they were talking about TikTok. Well, come to find out, Nikki Haley's daughter's on TikTok. So, I don't know, Nikki Haley can't even control her own daughter being on TikTok, but she's trying to tell Vivek not to be on TikTok? That makes absolutely no sense, by the way. But anyways, I just think Vivek, he has a great message. I think he says a lot of people question Vivek because they don't really know him. He's young and this and that. But I think Vivek's a superstar. I'm just going to be honest with you. He's a superstar. He may not win this primary, but he's a superstar. He will be involved in the next administration at some point. That's my breakdown. Whether this had a difference in the overall election, we have no idea. Personally, it's probably not that big of a difference because Trump, I'm looking at a poll this morning from Morning Consult. Trump is like 61, DeSantis is at 13. It's not even close. Even if you go state by state, They try to act like it's closer, and they try to say stuff. Well, DeSantis will be like, I'm closer in Iowa, or Haley's, I'm closer in South Carolina. You're not close. You're not even close to being close. If 30 points is close to you, I don't know. Anything can happen, though. With everything going on the Trump side, legal stuff, anything can still happen. So I'm not saying it's over, but it's just, I don't see a lot of movement. Wanted to say something else about so it's debate. So I got in a little tussle. I wouldn't even call it a tussle, but I called this guy, Mike Cernovich, out the other night on 2024 War Room on X. And he actually replied, because I don't have that many followers, right? But this guy has 1.5 million or 1.1 million followers. So he did see what I posted, and then he replied. So I posted, because he's a big-time Trump supporter, which I have no problem. I don't care. But my point is that, in my opinion, people have changed from DeSantis. DeSantis, a year ago, people were like crazy about DeSantis. They thought this guy was going to do this, and this. They thought he was like, they were all rooting for him. Very few people were against DeSantis if you go back 12 months, even 11 months. Okay, so Mike Cernovich is hands down a Trump supporter. He's vote for Trump. That's what he's saying. So he goes. So I go back and I looked at his tweets. He said this on November. This is election night, 2022. Cernovich says Trump has zero shot at the 2024 general. After tonight, this isn't up for debate. I was around in 2015 when he had no chance and accurately said he'd win. Through the biggest inauguration ever in 2017. Times changed, or he changed, or whatever. This is the one that gets me. DeSantis in 2024 or accept total defeat. Whoa. That's not like, oh, I kind of like DeSantis. I don't know. I think DeSantis. No, this dude is like straight up zero shot at the general. This is like very strong words. This isn't like he's thinking about it. This is like biblical type, stuff he's coming out of his mind. Zero shot at the general. And then he finishes it with DeSantis in 2024 accept total defeat. Wow. This was November 8th, 2022. The night DeSantis won Florida by a record 19, and the same night that Trump put on Truth Social the sanctimonious. Okay? Trump was already calling him out. So I said something because he's always touting Trump. I don't even remember what the original tweet was. So he replies, "Thank you for sharing my brilliance. Check the date." All right, I guess the date. Okay. Did something happen from the time of the tweet today, such as the debacle of the DeSantis campaign occurred? So he's saying that because of the DeSantis campaign debacle is the reason why he changed teams. That's what he's saying, basically. So I'll take his for a word. I think. And then I replied, I love my reply, by the way. You can't say something so strong and then all of a sudden do a 180. Personally, I think you lack the courage to stay with DeSantis because you know you'd be destroyed on X. You wouldn't be able to handle the X peer pressure. Deep down inside, I bet you still believe DeSantis is a stronger candidate. That's just the truth. So he's saying that he went from DeSantis to Trump because of the debacle of the DeSantis campaign. This is crazy, okay? This is crazy. And I'm going to say this on this video, and that's going to be it. I'm not going to keep talking about it. It's ridiculous. This is my point. This is crazy, okay? If you believe what he said that night, okay? If you believe that, you stick with your guy thick and thin. You just don't. You just don't jump off the train because you don't like his campaign. So I am being right in my analysis that you got off the DeSantis train because you couldn't handle the X peer pressure, which is a fact. The fact is, it's easy to go with the guy that's up by 40 than the guy that's down by 40, right? If you believe in a candidate, and I say this for any candidate, I'm not talking about Trump, I'm not talking about anybody. If you believe in a candidate, if you're going to vote for somebody, and you really believe in, if you make that strong of a statement, you stay with them till it doesn't matter what the campaign's doing. We can criticize the campaign, exactly. DeSantis had a shadow campaign, which was ridiculous for like a month. I mean, it was ridiculous. I mean, I would tell you that. I thought the campaign sucked too. I don't think he's been strong as a candidate. He's now finally got being more direct with Trump, but it's like, okay, dude, it's like October and you're down by 40. But anyways, it's just fraudulent to me. I can't stand that. I can't stand when people are hypocritical. And this guy gets so many followers. I get he tweets like 5,000 times a day and he has 1.1 million followers. He's been online for a long time. But that's just fraudulent to me. How can you believe that? But now all of a sudden you think Trump's a shot? I mean, here's my last point on this. So he said it was because of the debacle. And I've also heard, people say something about because of the indictments and stuff like that. Why would you vote for someone just because they're being indicted? That is insane. You vote for someone because you want to hire the best possible candidate for the country. Because it's about the country, right? It's about a lot of things. I mean, we don't vote for just because one person. I get it. Trump was indicted, which is totally political. I mean, they didn't indict him until 2023. He's been in office since January 20th of 21. They didn't think about it. They invited him once he ran for president. We all know it. It's all politically charged. And that's fine. If you want to campaign and say, hey, I'm going to pardon Trump when I get inaugurated. That's what a lot of candidates have said. But the fact that people would vote for Trump just because he's being indicted is insane to me. I support him. If you believe in a candidate, you should stick by him. Number one. And number two, you don't vote for someone because they're being indicted or you feel they've been hated against or whatever you want to call it, persecuted against. You vote for the best candidate for the country. That's just the way it is. I mean, it's insane. You can vote, you can support another candidate because you think they're better, but then still hope Trump gets out, because seriously, that's insane to me. Remember, it's about the country. It's not about the person. The person we want them to be acquitted or whatever we want to happen, but that doesn't mean I have to support them. That's stupid. Very stupid. And the problem I have, and I guess that's why I got on a rant about this, is there's a lot of people on X, not everybody. There's a lot of Trump supporters on X, and there's probably other supporters too. They never criticize Trump for anything. They never, because they know if they do the slightest criticism, they will be thrown so quickly under the bus. They will be destroyed. They'll be destroyed. They'll be called a rhino. They'll be called this. I mean, they'll just go on and on about it. So my point is that there's a lot of people like this that were all about DeSantis. And then when it became unpopular, when their god Trump decided, hey, he's not the guy, they all switched teams and now they act like, oh, that was a long time ago. That's what he said. Oh, that was a long time ago. Check the date. Okay, that was only 11 months ago, dude. I mean, to my knowledge, DeSantis really hasn't changed. Now, his campaign sucked. I'll agree with that. But you can't say Trump has zero shot at the general. I don't think indictments, this is my honest opinion. I'll leave it with this. I don't think indictments are going to force independents and Democrats and moderate Republicans to vote for Trump in swing states. Remember, we have to win Arizona, Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Wisconsin. We got to win those states. If we don't, we won't win. So do you think indictments are going to move the needle on those voters, independents, moderate Republicans, and conservative Democrats? No. Folks, this video is going long. I was going to get to something else. And no one's answering. I got my final thought. Why all these Trump supporters I see on X also, they all hate McCarthy. But yet their guy Trump supported McCarthy earlier this year when they made him the speaker. Nobody wants to say anything about that. I mean, I don't care that he did. I'm just saying nobody seems to say, why did our leader do that? I mean, I just want to be honest. I just want people to be honest and make actually be fair with the whole thing. So that's all I got. If you like below, subscribe below. If you want to follow me on X at 2024 War Room. Have an outstanding day. Thank you.